Hi, I'm Christine, and today I'm here to share with you some of the thoughts that my clients or even friends have that is buying a CCR property always lose money. Well, is this really true? Let's take a look further. So CCR has these two big problems. One is actually the demand problem. Secondly is the product problem. So in the past, you can actually see that the PSF for OCR is approximately about $800 starting from, and the RCR starting from about 1,003 PSF, and the CCR is as high as 2,005 PSF. So it might be a little bit easier for the OCR to upgrade to the RCR, but it's very difficult for the RCR to upgrade to the CCR with a price difference of 1,000 PSF. It is even harder for OCR to upgrade to CCR with a price difference of 1,007 PSF. So with such a big price gap, it's almost impossible or very challenging to actually upgrade from OCR, RCR to CCR, therefore causing a very low demand. Next, with the decentralizations from the government, it actually wants to bring jobs out of central area and closer to home. That is where we have our second CBD in Jurong areas such as Jurong Lake District, Jurong Innovation District, and even our port is transport to Tuas area. And we also have regional center that's moved to Tampines area and One North. So this actually creates job opportunity out of central area, and it also has been shown that it actually creates a higher price in areas such as Jurong, Woodlands, Pasir Ris, and Clementi. So decentralizations actually causes a lower demand in CCR. Next, we need to look at the foreigners and PR ownership. As you know, most of the foreigners will probably buy property in CCR rather than RCR and OCR. And this is also shown in the statistic that we have actually collected. But if you actually look at it, some of the statistic for a property in CCR has actually more than 64% being owned by foreigners and PR. And if let's say the percentage of the foreigners and PR in the property is actually more than 30%, can I say in the event of a market downturn, the foreigners could actually just sell the property and move on. But this could actually cause a knee-jerk reaction in the property price in CCR, causing it to be very unstable. Next, let's look at the product problem. Whether we are buying a property in CCR or any other region, can I say the livability such as the layout is very important. So let's take a look at how livable are the homes in CCR. Let's take a look at one of the example, Peak at Kent Hill 2. This is actually a project at a good location, a freehold property. But let's take a look at the facilities that it has. As you can see over here, it actually has a lap pool and one barbecue pit area here. There isn't any playground or any other facilities for the kids to run around. So the unit distribution only have a 2-bedroom and a 2+ study. Let's take a look at the layout. The 2-bedroom is actually a good size of 904 square feet. So if you pay for such a size, this is actually the size of a 3-bedroom in RCR or OCR area. But yet, if you actually pay for such a size in CCR, most likely your contract will be very high and you'll be probably entering at a very high entry price. But let's take a look at the layout. You can see over here it has balcony, planter, bay window, planter, bay window again. So overall, there's actually almost 30% of unusable space. And the second bedroom can't even fit in a queen-size bed. And there is actually no enclosable kitchen as well. So ask yourself, would you actually pay for 904 square feet to live in such a layout? Well, the answer most likely will be no. So with low livability, it gives you very low natural demand that will actually most likely generate into low price sustainability. And there's a very high chance that it will actually make a loss. Now let's take a look at another example, the Lumas. This is also at a very good location, a freehold property. The facilities that you get over here is actually a kids swimming pool, a lap pool, a small gym, and one barbecue. There isn't also many community facilities where you can actually entertain your friends or family when they come over. But let's take a look at the unit distribution. So over here we have 1, 2, 3, and 4 bedrooms. So probably if you want to actually buy for your own stay, we actually have a 3-bedroom and 4-bedroom in this project. But let's take a look at the layout. So this is actually a 3-bedroom layout, a good size of 1755 square feet. This is actually a size of a 5-bedroom in RCR and OCR. So paying such a big size, most likely your contract will be very, very high, and it also means that you'll be entering at a very high entry price. And what do you actually get? You can see it actually has a little bit kind of an odd shape, and you actually have planters, balcony, planters, big aircon ledge all around this unit. And it also has a very long corridor. Buying a 3-bedroom over here most likely is for own stay, but look at the master bedroom. It's actually pretty small. So may I ask you again, would you actually pay for a high quantum of 1755 square feet to live in such a layout? Well, the answer most likely will be no again. So with low livability, it gives you low natural demand. That will actually give you a very poor price sustainability, and it is actually shown over here that it also generates a big loss. Lastly, let's take a look at Scott Square. This is also at a very good location, freehold property near MRT. So the facilities over here, you actually have a very small little pool, a lap pool, well, a function room over here and a karaoke room over here. And one lawn, maybe just for the kids to run around, but there isn't many facilities around us as well. So over here, we have 1, 2 and 3 bedrooms layout. Mainly are the 1 and 2, probably for investment, but let's take a look at the 3-bedroom layout. The 3-bedroom is actually a very good size of 1249 square feet. But again, if you're paying for 1249 square feet, most likely your content will be very high and you'll be actually entering at a very high entry price. But let's take a look at the layout. So what do you actually pay for 1249 square feet? You actually have big aircon latched, you have balcony, bay window. So over here, you actually will be paying a lot again for the bay window and balcony. And your bedroom 3 is actually very small. You can't even fit in a queen size bed. And for a 3-bedroom layout, most likely can I say is for own stay, for a family. So look at the kitchen. Is actually not even an enclosable kitchen. So again, would you actually pay a high price to stay in such a layout? Most likely the answer is no again. So imagine you work so hard, you compromise your lifestyle to move into CCR, but the layout is actually not livable. So do you think you will buy? So again, with low livability, it gives you low natural demand that will actually be having a very poor price sustainability and very high chance again, it will actually has a very big loss. So over here, the important thing to look at is actually what we call the livability. So whether we are buying a project in CCR or any other region, livability such as the layout is very, very important. Let's take a look at how this could also affect any other parts of Singapore. So we have another project which is Sky Habitat in Bishan, a RCR project. So over here is a 3-bedroom of a very good size of 1248 square feet. This is also a very good size of a 4-bedroom in OCR area. And what are you actually paying for such a size? You'll be actually paying excessive big aircon latched, multiple balcony and long corridor. And your master bedroom is actually not very spacious. So again, with such a layout, do you think you'll actually be keen to stay in? So with low livability, it gives you low natural demand that actually translates into poor price sustainability. And again, you can actually see over here, it actually has a very big loss. So once the two problems such as the demand problem and the product problem being solved in CCR, most likely the properties in CCR will make money.